pinching it and twisting it just a half a turn around. And I like to put them together in two together and put those in and then put 2 more on top. If you're doing solid curlicues, you want to put in 2 and then put 2 more on top of it. And what happens then is once you get it completely covered and you've got 4 curlicues or 8 curlicues, 4 pieces in each set of ties, it's relatively full. And if all you want is curlicues, then you can go back and selectively add 1 more here or there wherever it seems to need it. But I'm going to go around and do.
That's on your inside row now?
I'm on my inside row now.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. You can do a complete ruffle wreath. You can do a complete curlicue wreath. You can do a complete wreath with the Tootsie Roll method that I did around the outside. I just want everybody to be familiar with the variety of techniques to manipulate. So I'll show you again. See, when you roll it up, it wants to go a little wanky. So if you pinch it there and twist a half a twist, so that's facing up. That's the trick. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the sunflower video or Black Eyed Susan or whatever they call it, I don't even remember anymore. It's been my nightmare. You know, everybody wants to be popular until they're popular. Everybody wants to be rich and famous until they're rich and famous and they figure out rich is good enough. Like I said, I'd rather have fortune than fame, but.
About how long are you cutting now for the curlicue?
For the curlicues, I'm basically cutting a square. You can sheet it a little bit, 8, 9 inches. If you're concerned about it, cut a little extra. Be generous with it.
I did mine.
I'm trying to get everything I need out of this one
Doing it
roll.
catty corner, scrunching it up.
Yeah, but that's all in your curlicues that he's doing now, even myself. I just didn't put any green on it.
I didn't do any green on mine.
And Michael's had a 12
Doing the ruffles, you want it to be,
roll.
well, this
They
is 10
don't do
inches
10,
wide,
they have
so it's
12
twice as long.
on
Doing the curlicue,
the
you
small
want basically a
like
square.
that. So that's what I used.
That's pretty. I like the golden yellow. See, I didn't want it bright, and I
So I may
found
be
this
doing
perfect
something
paper mesh. It was waterproof.
Some of this, I think everybody's probably done
mine,
one
and
or
only
the other or
4
something, but
rolls, and then I went back and tried to
I
get
want
some more.
everybody to
and
walk out of here today able to do all of them. So, but now I'm going to let you, when you're making your wreaths, whatever techniques you want to incorporate, it's fine. And if you want to see an up-close demonstration of something you're not doing, I'll be glad to do that too. I've got a little extra material here so I can be sure to show you how to do anything that you may not be doing in the wreath you're making today. And I want to finish this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, so I need 8 more pieces, and I'm probably just enough.
Now,
I pull these scissors out and people are like, oh, those scissors. I'm like, yeah, big business with it.
now the wreaths that you have on the wall, were those considered what you did in the beginner class?
Yeah. And I will do one of those for you if you want me to show you how.
I'd love to, because I didn't take the beginner.
Okay. Well, we did this because some people, this is kind of the basic thing that you start with, and all the other techniques. They're even with this, there are little tricks that make it easier, that make it more consistent to do the curlicues, to do the puffs, boosts, whatever.
I should have taken the beginner.
Matter of fact, the little office clips, the little springy office clips that are like black with the
Yes.
steel. I've got a friend who makes curlicue wreaths. That's pretty much all she does. and she will take her pieces and curl, get it to that point and clip it. And she's got a pile of clips over here with rings, and then she just picks them up one at a time and adds them in.
I have big paper clips I use.
You find ways to make it easier for yourself to do something.
Because I can't do like him, hold one and roll one. So I have big paper clips.
Okay, 2 more. And if you're making a wreath like these, you may figure, oh, it's going to take me an hour or so. If you're making a wreath like this with different texture, different techniques, you may figure an hour and a half. Because there's a little more cutting and a little more manipulating materials involved. Okay, that's my last piece. So I did one ruffle just in the center. I did one ruffle as the base, and then I did 2 curlicues on top of it. And I haven't held it up to show you because that's what it looks like.
That's pretty.
And so, oh, I'm sorry. So that's 3 different techniques all combined together, and you get a lot of texture and a lot of movement, and it's really pretty without anything else in it. Whereas this, which is the basic technique, you got to add stuff and do layering on top of it to make it pretty. This can be all about the color and the texture. Right. And then I cut up these just so I'd have them ready to go. To add
See, because
in.
I don't really like to put bows on my ribbons.
Right.
So that would be a good one.
Well, the little tails.
Yeah.
You can alternate, patterns. You can also. I had one here earlier that I had. Oh, here we go. You can do what I call firecracker bows, where you stack up several different
cut your strips
patterns.
when you do those?
It depends on how full the wreath is, because you want them to show.
Yeah.
So if it's kind of tight, you can be a little shorter. If it's real voluminous and full, you can make them a little longer. I say just take a piece of ribbon and hold it in place and see what it's going to, because like the shortest one in the middle, I can get away with that because it allows the other ones to be seen. And then when you put that in, that covers a lot of ground. So
I spend most time trying to pick out ribbon.
well, I'll tell you what I told the earlier classes. Just pick out the wildest ribbon you see, whatever appeals to you, and mix it together, and don't worry about it because in the end.
Well, I think that, and that's it. I'm trying to pick that out. Me either.
Yeah,
That pops. That's what counts.
and sometimes the ugliest things side by side, you mix them together, they work. Another trick is to use black and white. Use black and white stripe or zebra or polka dot. That unifies everything because it's graphic and it just has that effect of making everything work together. It just ties it all together. But you can do the firecrackers or firecracker bows where you can just do tails scattered through, alternating. I love this magnolia ribbon.
Nobody rolls with that
Tina,
down
whatever you
there.
got left, you might sell it by the yard because I think it was your last roll. I need to take a swatch of it to work with me. Actually, we're doing a Christmas collection that's got magnolia flowers in it, so that
Because that would go on my wreath I'm doing today.
no, it's not. Christmas looking ribbon.
Would you were doing neutral?
I am.
So y'all, those of y'all who were here earlier saw me chopping up this ribbon real quick, and that's another advanced technique when you're just a beginner, and you can cut one piece of ribbon and put it in, cut another piece of ribbon and put it in. That's fine. When when you get to the point that you've got a vision, you know what you want to make and you want to get it done, then cut all your ribbons at once. Cut all your curly cues at once. And for those of you who wouldn't know, who missed or who weren't in the beginning class, every wreath frame has, well now this has 18 sets of ties. So it's easy to do the math and say I want, you know, a ribbon tail in each set, but I'm gonna alternate them and do 2 different patterns, so you need 9 pieces of each pattern. If you're doing 3 different ribbons in each one, like this firecracker bow, then you're gonna need 18 pieces of each ribbon. And you're gonna be cutting ribbon for a while, but the main thing you see when you look at that wreath is ribbon. And that's and now if you're using the 10-inch ring, it has 12 ties. It has 12 ties, 7 on the outside and 5 on the inside. So those are odd numbers on that, where these are even numbers. On that one, you almost have to do the same thing in each set of ties. Like if you're doing these 2 ribbons, you would stack them up and put that in each set of ties, so you get even distribution of materials. And is there anything any of you have seen that you want to know how to make that you haven't figured out or haven't given you the basic technique for? That's a scary question for me, because I've already heard about denim mesh today.
I'd love to be able to find some more.
Well, you know what? If you find a scrap the size of a handkerchief, I'll take it.
I can send it to you.
You do? You got a scrap?
I've got some, just a, you know, a little piece.
Do you know where you got it?
Huh?
Labor, we actually have something, I'm sorry, David, from another company.
That's fine.
I don't know that it's necessarily exactly similar, but it's very similar.
It's about it was about the color of that band on the inside of your collar.
Yeah.
A little darker.
Okay. Well, Tina, you know you know I'm not using my mesh.
Hold it up again.
I want to finish it first.
I forgot we had that coming in.
Yeah, I used to do weddings for a living, and there's a joke about why did the mother of the groom wear rollers to the wedding? You know, so she could look better than the mother of the bride at the reception.
I love that magnolia.
Are you gonna get any more of the magnolia? The ribbon?
She'll be looking for it now.
If I told you how old that was, you would be shocked.
Probably as old as me.
David's going back and he's gonna get it some made, hopefully.
How many want magnolia?
If there is any way possible, we can contact with them.
That's one full repeat. Here we go. It's on its way to China with me. It is pretty. And my boss, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a sales rep for the mesh company, and we sell mesh and ribbon wholesale to, or we're distributors for folks like Fox's, and I'm involved in our product development